the hidden truth about seduction, why play is the ultimate game. What is game, and why do so many people get it wrong? When people hear the term game in the context of dating and seduction, it tends to trigger a range of reactions. Some roll their eyes, imagining a world of rehearsed pickup lines, flashy tactics, and surface-level tricks meant to impress potential partners. Others take a far more cynical view, believing that game is about manipulation, about using deceit to control, persuade, or exploit someone for personal gain. These perspectives are understandable. After all, a game, at least in the way it has been presented in pop culture and internet discussions, often comes across as either laughable or sinister. Pickup artists, PUAs of the early 2000s, turned the idea into something mechanical, relying on memorized scripts, negs, and bizarre psychological techniques to create an illusion of attraction. Meanwhile, critics of the dating scene painted game as something predatory, a way for emotionally detached men to exploit women's vulnerabilities and insecurities. But both of these interpretations are wrong. Game is neither a set of cheap tricks nor a sinister form of emotional manipulation. The best seducers throughout history, men and women who could effortlessly attract and captivate others, did not rely on gimmicks or deception. Instead, they mastered something much deeper, much more fundamental. They understood the true essence of game, and that essence is play. The underrated power of play. Play is one of the most misunderstood aspects of human nature. When we hear the word, we associate it with childhood, something whimsical, unserious, and ultimately unimportant. Adults, we are told, must leave play behind in favor of responsibility, duty, and maturity. This is one of the biggest lies ever told. Play is not just a form of entertainment. It is not just an activity reserved for leisure. Play is one of the most powerful forces in human interaction, shaping the way we bond, connect, and, most importantly, seduce. To understand this, let's take a step back and examine what play really is. What is play? At its core, play is the ability to create a separate reality within the larger reality. It is a shift in perception, a world within a world where the rules are different and where those who enter it feel something unique, special, and engaging. Children do this naturally. Give a child a pencil, and they don't just see a writing instrument. They see a spaceship, a sword, a magic wand, an object with meaning that extends beyond its physical form. And if another child joins in that game, they don't question it. They accept the new reality, and suddenly they are on an adventure together. Now, here's the crucial part. Adults do the exact same thing. They just do it in a way that is more socially acceptable. Think about a conversation between two close friends who have years of inside jokes. To an outsider, these jokes might make no sense at all, but to those two friends, the words, the phrases, the little quirks they share, they all hold meaning in their own private world. Flirting and seduction work the same way. When two people flirt, they are creating a shared reality that only they exist in. A casual touch, a teasing remark, an inside joke. These things are meaningless to the outside world, but within the bubble of play that exists between two people, they are incredibly powerful. This is where the magic happens. How play becomes seduction. The most charismatic people in the world, those who can effortlessly draw others to them, are masters of play. They do not just engage in casual conversation or try to impress with status, wealth, or looks. Instead, they create a unique, immersive experience that their target cannot resist stepping into. And the secret to doing that? Seeing people as they wish to be seen. This is one of the most powerful and seductive things you can do. Let's be brutally honest. Every single person on this planet has a deep, hidden desire to be seen a certain way. The woman who wants to be recognized as a mysterious and enchanting beauty. The man who wants to be viewed as a brilliant, misunderstood genius. The person who wants to be seen as a fearless leader, a rebellious spirit, or a deeply sensitive soul. Most people walk through life feeling as though no one truly sees them for who they believe they are. Now imagine what happens when someone comes along who does see them, not in the way society does, but in the way they secretly wish to be perceived. Imagine a woman who has always been viewed as just cute by most men she meets, but then a man looks at her and, in his eyes, she is suddenly captivating, enchanting, the most irresistible woman in the room. Or imagine a man who has spent years feeling invisible, his ideas overlooked, his ambitions dismissed. Then a woman comes along who looks at him with admiration, treating him as if he were a brilliant, world-changing. What do you think happens in these scenarios? The answer is simple. They are drawn into the reality you have created for them. They want to exist in that world. They need to exist in that world. Because for the first time, someone is reflecting back to them the image of themselves they have always longed for. And that is one of the most intoxicating, irresistible forces in human attraction. The art of creating a shared reality. Now that you understand the power of play, the question becomes, how do you apply this in real life? The first step is mastering the ability to observe and understand people at a deeper level. What do they crave? How do they wish to be seen? What version of themselves do they secretly long to become? Most people are so consumed with their own insecurities that they fail to notice these things in others. But the best seducers pay attention. They listen. They pick up on the subtle clues, the way someone speaks about their passions, the way they react to compliments, the little moments where they reveal glimpses of their inner world. Once you understand what someone craves, you give it to them, not in a manipulative or deceitful way, but in a way that feels real and meaningful. If someone desires to be seen as extraordinary, you treat them as extraordinary. If someone craves adventure, you become the source of adventure in their life. If someone longs for emotional depth, you become the person who provides that depth. In doing this, you are not just having a conversation, you are creating an experience. You are inviting them into a world where they feel seen, valued, and excited. And once they step into that world, they will not want to leave. What comes next? This is just the beginning. Now that we have laid the foundation for why play is the key to seduction, we need to explore how to apply it in real-world situations. In part 2, I will break down the specific techniques, mindsets, and strategies that will allow you to effortlessly create attraction, deepen emotional connections, and seduce anyone, all by mastering the art of play. Part 2, the mechanics of play. how to seduce anyone effortlessly. Now that we've established that play is the heart of seduction, it's time to explore exactly how to apply this principle in real-world interactions. Knowing that people long to be seen in a particular way is powerful, but how do you use this insight to attract, seduce, and deeply connect with someone? This section will cover how to identify someone's hidden self-perception and desires, how to build a seductive shared reality using play, the secret to making people feel irresistibly drawn to you, the difference between ordinary interactions and truly seductive ones, how to seamlessly introduce sexual attraction into the dynamic. By the time you finish this section, you'll understand exactly why some people can effortlessly attract others and how you can do the same. Step 1. Identifying their desired self-perception. Everyone has a secret self-image. One of the biggest mistakes people make in dating and seduction is assuming that attraction is about them, their looks, their wealth, their confidence. But true attraction isn't about you at all. It's about how the other person feels about themselves in your presence. If someone feels more alive, more attractive, more fascinating, or more powerful when they're with you, they will not want to leave your orbit. And the key to making them feel this way is understanding how they secretly want to be perceived. So, how do you do this? How to read someone's hidden desires. Most people accidentally reveal their desired self-perception in the way they talk, behave, and respond to the world. You just need to know what to look for. Here are some key clues. What they complain about. If someone constantly says, "No one ever takes me seriously," they likely want to be seen as respected and important. If they say, "Guys never see me as more than a friend," they likely want to feel desired. What they joke about. Jokes are often hidden truths. If someone constantly jokes about being underrated or misunderstood, it's likely they want to be seen as special. What they admire in others. If they talk about how much they love people who are confident, artistic, or rebellious, that's often what they want to be themselves. How they react to compliments. When you give a compliment, watch their body language. If they light up when you call them adventurous, but shrug when you say they're smart, then adventure is what they value most. What excites them in conversation. Notice the topics that make them come alive. If someone becomes deeply engaged when discussing art, mystery, or travel, they might long to be seen as someone who lives an exciting, passionate life. Once you have identified how they want to be seen, you can begin shaping a shared reality that aligns with that perception. Step 2. Creating a seductive shared reality. What is a shared reality? A shared reality is a mental and emotional bubble that only you and the other person exist in. In this bubble, the rules of normal life don't apply. You both experience a new way of seeing the world, a world where they feel special. The outside world fades away, and the emotions within the bubble become all-consuming. Every legendary seducer, Casanova, Don Juan, Cleopatra, understood how to create these exclusive, intimate realities. They did not merely flirt, they made their target feel as if they had stepped into a different world. how to pull someone into a shared reality. To draw someone into your world, you must first break the monotony of normal interactions. Ordinary interactions feel like small talk, predictable, socially acceptable responses, logical conversations without emotional pull. Seductive interactions feel like inside jokes that only the two of you share, playful, unpredictable moments, emotions overriding logic, making the moment feel electric. Here's how to transition from ordinary to seductive interaction. 1. Play with perception. If you sense that someone wants to be seen as mysterious, you might say, "There's something about you that I can't quite figure out, like you belong in a different era, maybe a dark, moody 1920s jazz club, causing trouble." If they want to be seen as dangerous or rebellious, you could say, "I get the feeling you secretly cause chaos wherever you go. Like if I left you alone for 5 minutes, you'd have people ready to start a revolution." If they crave adventure, say something like, "I bet you have a list of wild things you want to do, and no one around you is brave enough to do them with you." By creating a new lens through which they see themselves, you pull them into your version of reality, one that is more exciting than their normal life. 2. Use playful challenges. People are drawn to tension. One of the fastest ways to build attraction is to create playful resistance that draws them deeper into your world. If they claim they're dangerous, tease them. "Oh, really? Dangerous people don't announce it. I'll believe it when I see it." If they say they're independent, playfully challenge them. "I don't know, you seem like the type who secretly loves being taken care of." If they insist they're too wild for you, smirk and say, "That's cute. I think you'd be the one struggling to keep up." By giving them something to prove, you create an unspoken game that keeps them engaged. 3. Make it feel like a secret between you. Nothing strengthens a shared reality like making the other person feel like they are in on something that no one else is. Give them a nickname based on an inside joke. Create a made-up scenario where they have a secret identity. Tell them something only they would understand. "I don't say this to most people, but I can tell you get it." When someone feels like you and they share a secret world, they begin seeing you as someone special, someone different from everyone else. Step 3. Introducing sexual energy. Attraction without sexual energy is just friendship. If you want to move from playful seduction to intense desire, you must introduce physical and emotional tension at the right moments. Some ways to do this smoothly: pause when speaking. Let your words hang in the air for a moment, making them more impactful. Lower your voice slightly. Create a shift in energy that draws them in. Hold eye contact longer than normal. Let them feel the unspoken tension. Playfully invade personal space. Move close, then pull away as if it was nothing. Use subtle, slow touches. Let physicality feel natural and electric, not forced. When done correctly, this combination of play, tension, and immersion into a shared reality makes seduction effortless. It happens without either person needing to make a move. Coming up next, the final key to mastering seduction: Now that you understand how to identify desires, create shared realities, and introduce sexual tension, there's one final piece left: how to make someone feel addicted to your presence so they crave you even when you're not around. Part 3. How to make someone feel addicted to you. Now that we've covered the foundation of seduction, identifying someone's hidden self-perception, pulling them into a seductive shared reality, and introducing sexual energy, it's time to unlock the final piece of the puzzle: how to make someone feel so emotionally connected to you that they crave your presence, even when you're not around. This is what separates an average seduction from an irresistible one. If you can make someone think about you when you're not with them, if they find themselves fantasizing about your next interaction, if they start associating you with excitement, intrigue, and deep emotional stimulation, you have successfully embedded yourself in their mind. This section will teach you how to create emotional highs and lows that build an addictive connection, become a source of novelty and excitement in their life. Use anticipation and absence to increase attraction. Make them attach deep emotional meaning to your presence. By the end of this, you will understand why certain people stay on our minds for years while others are forgotten almost instantly. Step 1. The emotional roller coaster effect. One of the biggest mistakes people make in attraction is thinking that being consistently nice, predictable, and accommodating will make someone fall for them. Emotions, not logic, create addiction. People do not become addicted to things that are steady, expected, or safe. They become addicted to things that stimulate a range of emotions. Think about the most powerful romantic stories, whether in books, movies, or real life. They are rarely about two people who meet, have a perfectly stable relationship, and live happily ever after without any excitement or turmoil. That's boring. Instead, they are filled with moments of deep connection, followed by uncertainty, passionate highs, followed by tension or distance, playful teasing, followed by intense attraction. This is not about manipulation. It's about creating an emotional experience that feels dynamic and alive. How to use this in real life. To build an emotional roller coaster, you need to introduce variety into your interactions. Mix playfulness with seriousness. Instead of keeping the conversation in one emotional tone, switch between teasing, deep conversations, and lighthearted humor. This keeps the interaction unpredictable and emotionally engaging. Fluctuate between presence and distance. If you're always available, you become taken for granted. If you're unpredictable in your availability, sometimes deeply engaged, sometimes unavailable, it creates a sense of longing and curiosity. Create highs and lows in attention. When you're together, be fully present, engaged, and charismatic, but don't always respond immediately to texts or seem too eager. Let them wonder about you. This does not mean being erratic or playing games. It means making your interactions feel dynamic rather than flat and predictable. Step 2. Become a source of novelty and excitement. People remember experiences, not just people. If you want someone to become mentally and emotionally hooked on you, they must associate you with excitement, adventure, or intensity. Ordinary interactions feel like safe, repetitive small talk, conversations that follow the same predictable patterns, a lack of emotional impact. Memorable, seductive interactions feel like a shift in energy and emotional intensity, a sense of adventure, unpredictability, and new experiences. The feeling that something special or different happens when you're around. How to apply this in real life. Introduce new experiences. Instead of standard dinner dates or casual small talk, bring novelty into your interactions. Try new things, suggest spontaneous activities, or introduce interesting, unusual topics of conversation. Break social norms in playful ways. Do things that feel slightly rebellious, spontaneous, or unexpected. This makes moments with you feel more alive. Use unpredictability to create excitement. If every interaction with you is routine, there is no reason to crave more. But if people never know what to expect, if you keep things fresh, dynamic, and engaging, they will always look forward to the next encounter. This is why the most seductive people in history were not necessarily the most attractive. They were the ones who made interactions feel vivid, engaging, and addictive. Step 3. The power of anticipation and absence. One of the strongest psychological drivers of desire is anticipation. When we know something exciting is coming, our brains build up anticipation and craving. The same applies to attraction. If someone always has immediate access to you, there is no time for their mind to build excitement. But if you create moments of anticipation, their thoughts will linger on you when you're not there. How to apply this in real life? Leave conversations on a high note. Instead of waiting for conversations to fizzle out, end them at their peak. This leaves the other person wanting more. Use small, unfinished moments. If you're telling a story, pause at an exciting part and say, "I'll tell you the rest later." This makes them eager for the next interaction. Be selective with your availability. If someone feels like they can reach you at any moment, they will not value your presence as much. By being unpredictable in when and how you engage, you create a sense of mystery and desire. This is why some of the most powerful romantic obsessions are built in absence, not presence. The brain fills in the gaps with fantasy and longing when you're not around. If you can create moments where someone misses you, you have successfully embedded yourself in their mind. Step 4. Making them emotionally invested. Attraction is easy to spark, but deep seduction happens when someone becomes emotionally invested in you. Emotional investment happens when someone feels like they need to earn your approval. They begin putting effort into impressing you. They start thinking about you when you're not around. How to make someone emotionally invested in you. Give selective approval. If you approve of everything they say or do, your attention becomes less valuable. Instead, be thoughtful with your praise. If you admire something about them, express it genuinely and meaningfully. Make them qualify themselves to you. Instead of seeking approval from others, flip the script. Ask them, "What's something unique about you that I wouldn't guess?" This makes them want to impress you, which increases emotional investment. Create deep personal connections. Surface-level attraction fades quickly, but if someone feels like you understand them in a way others don't, they will feel a strong emotional bond with you. By combining these elements, creating excitement, unpredictability, anticipation, and emotional investment, you become irresistible in their mind. Final thoughts: mastering the art of seduction. Seduction is not about looks, money, or status. It is about understanding the psychology of attraction and using it to create deep, immersive experiences that make people feel alive. To summarize the 3 parts of this guide, understand how people want to be seen. See them in the way they long to be seen and create a shared reality around that. Use play and unpredictability. Build an exciting, engaging, and seductive dynamic that is different from their normal interactions. Create emotional highs, anticipation, and absence. Make them crave your presence by using emotional contrast, unpredictability, and psychological triggers. If you apply these principles, you will develop a magnetic presence, one that makes people drawn to you on a level they don't fully understand. Because at the end of the day, the most irresistible thing in the world is not a perfect person, but an unforgettable experience.